All right, fifth graders, let's take a look at question number 2. The first part of the question says model the number 8.88 on the place value chart. Fifth graders, I did not see a lot of place value charts on some of our tests. If you have forgotten, this right here is what a place value chart looks like. So you don't need to draw the whole thing, but you do need to draw enough to record this number in it. And then on some of the place value charts, you are missing this top part. So essentially you drew boxes with the numbers 8 in them. The purpose of a place value chart is to tell how much each of those are worth. So I'm going to give you a number that, let's say I'm going to do this one. Okay, so 4.35. So if I was going to write this on the place value chart, I would write the 4 in the ones place. I would need a number 4, and I would need the heading of ones. I would need a 3 right here, and I would need the heading of the tenths. And I would need a 5 right here, and I would need a heading of the 5. Okay, so it gives you an example of what your place value chart needs to look like on your test. All right, so now let's take a look at what you need to do after you get it on the place value chart. Okay, it says use words, numbers, and your model to explain why each of the digits has a different value. Be sure to use 10 times as large and 1/10 as large in your explanation. Again, I'm not going to show you the answer to the problem, but I will show you one like it. So let's say I have the number 33 on here. Okay, I can say the 3, well, 1, 3 is in, sorry guys, it's hard for me to write on this. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and type. It'll be just a little bit faster for us. Okay, so I could write 1, 3. 3 is in the tens place. It is worth 10 times, it is worth 10 times, I would say it is, because I've got to use these words right from up here, 10 times as large. It is 10 times as large as the 3 in the ones place, because 10 is 10 times as much as 1, so 3 tens, 30, is 10 times as much as 3 ones. The 3 in the ones place is 1/10 as large as the 3 in the tens. So you can see I've got this 3 in the tens place. I'm talking about how much it's worth. I'm talking about how much greater it is than the one in the ones place, and I'm talking about the ones place, how much it is worth, and then I'm using those words to describe its relationship to the place value to its left. All right, so that's the first part. Now let's go on to the second page. We have B and C as part of this. So we see that number again, and it's asking us to multiply by 10 to the fourth. Okay, so when we use exponents, we know that this is telling us how many place values come after the 1. So if, for example, I have 10 to the second power, I know that that is equal to a 1 with 2 place values behind it. 1 place value, 2 place value. Okay, so if 10 to the second power is worth 100, what is 10 to the fourth? I know I'm multiplying, okay? So in this case, I'm going to get bigger. Let's do another multiplication so we can see what this might look like, okay? So 4 times 10 to the second would not be equal to 100. It would be equal to 400, okay? I can say something along the lines of I shifted my 4 2 places greater. I decided to go greater because I was multiplying. I moved the 4 2 places because I had 10 with an exponent of 2. However you decided to make that shift, however you decided whether your number was getting greater or smaller, how many places on the place value chart you decided to get greater or smaller, that needs to be reflected in your explanation. All right, let's take a look at the one I'm hiding down here. This is a part that a lot of people had trouble with simply because they didn't pay attention to the directions. It says divide the product from B. Well, product is the answer to a multiplication question. B is this question B right up here. So the answer to the multiplication question, my answer is this, your answer should be to this. That is what you are going to divide by 10 to the second. So whatever your answer was for up here for this problem, so let's go ahead and write that down here, 8.88 times 10 to the fourth. Whatever you got for that, you're going to take that answer and you are going to divide it by 10 to the second. Again, just like up here, you're going to decide which way did it shift. Did it shift left on the place value chart? Did it get greater? Did it shift right on the place value chart? Did it get smaller? How many places did you choose to shift it and why? Good luck.